For you, how does it change the landscape?
Well, for us, it really doesn't change anything. I mean, Microsoft obviously is the maker of one of the leading consoles, the Xbox, and Activision is one of the largest, producers of game content. The game industry has really been an industry of Pac-Man forever. Companies like Activision and Electronic Arts and Take-Two have been acquiring, Sony and Microsoft have been acquiring, and then on the heels of all that, what we always see is new startups coming out of nowhere creating amazing things. So, this has been an industry of serial acquisition for decades. I don't expect it to stop.
Microsoft and Xbox is one console platform. Some news over the weekend. I hope we can bring it up on the screen, Caroline. I've made the jump and I've bought a PlayStation 5, having played on Google Stadia for the last 18 months. And of course, Caroline, Google shut down that platform. So there you go. That's the big news in the industry. What do you make of that?
I mean, you're meant to be agnostic, Ed, but I mean, it does seem that I know you're a key gamer. And John, to that point, at the moment, you have been thinking about the ways in which you can continue to develop. I'm sure you're agnostic. You're going across every single platform. Just talk to us about whether the hype around AR, VR, the worry about people in this economic environment, perhaps not making a big splurge like Ed, particularly on a Quest, for example. Is that making you rethink about your platform building?
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. The largest platform in the world today for gaming is mobile. Yeah. That would be Android and iOS. There's north of 4 billion players there. Consoles are also super important, and some of the world's best content is made for consoles and also for the PC. And these, while they're much smaller in terms of users, in aggregate, probably a couple 100 million users, they're also super important. And for someone like me that's been in the game industry for a couple of decades, I love them all. So you have to support them all, unlike Ed. I don't pick winners or favorites.
Well, I don't pick winners or favorites either. I was playing Stadia. That was shut down by Google in my past. Right now, mobile, right, is where everyone's playing. What I find so interesting is you have Netflix trying to move into mobile games. Mm-hmm. You have Apple in the App Store. You have the Google Play Store. All of them are also trying to track privacy policy changes, advertising. What's that doing in the gaming space right now?
Well, look, the advertising market, it was definitely affected by the privacy changes that Apple implemented a couple years ago. And then it also got hit to a degree by the economy. So starting last summer, buyers on the advertising side, the demand side, brought their spend down in anticipation of the recession-like environment we're in right now. And that continues to today. It's a little depressed, but it's been stable now, I would say, since the middle of last summer. So it continues to be a robust market. A little depressed from the peaks of COVID or immediately post-COVID.
You have a large advertising arm. You yourself had to make some tough decisions for Unity, for the amount of employees you have amid these economic environment that we currently see. Just push us towards the hype cycle that we find ourselves when it comes to generative AI. Does that end up meaning that people look to still invest in your area in that way of producing content, generative AI? Is that a help or a hindrance in this environment?
Well, so first off, let me just sort of bound this a little bit with some data. So we're at an all-time high today for the engagement that players have on a global scale. So north of 4 billion, as I mentioned a moment ago, and it's even higher than it was in COVID era when people were, living and working and studying at home. So the industry is very, very resilient.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of shocking that it's done that well. Now, of course, everyone's got this notion of a sort of a recessionary environment. But the point I would make right now is the industry really moves on innovation. And one of the most important innovations in gaming is AI.